Heyo everybody, Haku here with this week's One Piece live reaction bingo. We have chapter 1143. As typical, this will be up for patrons and channel members early before the official translation comes out, so if you'd like to get these One Piece videos a little bit early in addition to supporting the channel, then you can hit join down below to become a channel member. Go to patreon.com/HakuofTheTubes, or a link will be in the description to become a patron. And also, if you want to play along with your own bingo card as we're reading, or just play along while you're reading on your own, a link to the bingo card generator will be in the comments and description as always. So yeah, with that aside, we can just start reading. I'm excited to read. I think this arc's been great so far. Last chapter was like really good in a way that I did not expect. And there was one other thing I was thinking about. Oh yeah, I could tell because the link to click onto the chapter had the title in the name. The title was God's Knights, and I must be wrong. I've got to be incorrect because I could have sworn we already had a chapter with that title, but I guess I am just not correct on that. So yeah, with all that aside, let's see what I got on my bingo card so we can start reading. Also, I could see when I clicked to bring the chapter up, I could see that it was loading a color spread, but I've kept that tab closed so that I could not see what it was ahead of time to get spoiled on anything. So either way, on my card I'm gonna get new named character, Joy Boy mentioned, nightmare creature, Wano Piece, silhouetted character, revolutionary. I guess since we're getting a cover story, we probably won't get Wano Piece. Carrot Andor Zunisha, Seraphim, Cross Guild, Thousand Sunny, Flashback, Yonko, Free Space, which we can click, Blood Sweater Tears, God's Knights, Food, Any Straw member, Nika mentioned, the Heart Pirates, Devil Fruit Awakening, Marine, Phoebe Wappler Morgans, Straw Grand Fleet Representative Giant Child, new name Devil Fruit. I feel like just going one chapter at a time, plus looking at the card I've got, things aren't looking great for a bingo. I don't know. I think just in general, just going by one chapter, I don't think things are looking great to get a bingo. So we're starting off with the color spread. We have everybody racing flying fishes. So we see all of the Straw Hats here, just taking it in. Nami looks adorable. But yeah, this is all cool. Speed is the weapon, it says. And Jinbei is just swimming rather than riding one of the flying fish. Okay, so then, moving on to the actual chapter itself, we have a sneaky move by God's Knights. What's happening to the kids? Yo, wait, stop. And Saul's running off beside them now. Chapter 1143, God's Knights. And we see the little creature with the hat in the background, the storm creature. Ilva, Magu, Ronya, they're really sleepwalking. What's with this white cloth? Where are you kids going? Careful, Saul. That teacher warned us not to touch them. The one that was covered in blood? I know, but it doesn't look like there's anything nearby. And we can't let them keep walking like this. It's dangerous. Okay. So we see it looks like thorns wrapped around them. Getting to the next page. I scrolled down too early. I was just about to say. So I think that the sleeping, dreaming nightmare stuff is Kiringam. I don't know if sleep and dreams have anything to do with Kirins, or if he doesn't actually have a Kirin fruit. I'm not sure what's going on with Kiringam. The stuff that happened to the first teacher, I was going to say was probably Summer's ability, since, you know, people have been talking about the way a sword looks, and then them following this direction while they're asleep is going to be Gunko's. Maybe her arrows can dictate not just her own movement, but she can use them to control others' movements. Then, let's get them back to the school. And we see the thorns around Dilva stabbing into Saul. God, hurts. What the... Saul? What happened? Did something stab you? I'm calling from the Walrus School. All our students just fell into a deep sleep. So we're not doing this mysterious thing where we were going to show him do that and then just see the damage hit him. We're actually, even though the characters can't see it, we're being allowed to see the thorns. What happened? Did something stab you? I'm calling from the Walrus School. All our students just suddenly fell into a deep sleep, and 9 of them are walking away, but they're still unconscious. Now we see Western Village. We have no idea what's causing this. The school children? My kid is there. That's not all. Mysterious beasts have emerged from the forest. Monsters. Are those tykes gonna be okay? The kids were heading toward the 8th branch. And then Tiladiction Snail only used with an Elbath. All this on top of a fire? This is so sudden. Are they going to be okay? What's going on over there? And we're seeing reactions from Nami and Jinbei. Brooke is with them. Okay, so before we cut back or cut away or wherever we're going next, let's have a quick glance through. We do have technically new named characters because we found out, we already knew Ilva's name, but we found out some of the names for some of the other giant children here. Then we did see the nightmare creatures in the background. No Wano piece though. Do we have silhouetted character? I don't remember. We might have. I'll have to go back and check again. But none of this, none of this. Flashback. We might have. I'll have to, again, check back up again. Then Blood, Sweat, or Tears, we had Blood already. God's Knights were mentioned, but I don't think we've seen them yet. Then, okay, any Straw Hat member we've got. Food we've got in the background. Then, I just don't have, we have Giant Child. I have some spaces. I just don't have a good setup for the card. I don't see a way that I get any of these. Yeah, I don't see a way that I get any of these. And we don't have names for any new Devil Fruit or anything. So, flashback. Did we have a flashback when they were talking about the teacher, Mr. Wolf, earlier? No, we don't. Okay, I didn't know if when, I think it was Robin brought that up, I didn't know if we were going to see a flashback to the scene for that panel. Alright, so continuing, the 8th branch. So, they mean back there, right? Is everything okay? I am so dumb. I was thinking, when they're like, oh, the 8th branch, I was like, oh, is that some sort of organization of the giants, like how they're divided up and stuff? It's literally a branch, because they're on the tree. Oh my god, I'm so dumb. So, they mean back there, right? Is everything okay? This is awful. My great-great-granddaughter Ilva goes there, says we have the drunk Yarul with a bunch of other drunk giants. Great-great-grandchild, you're all way too drunk. You can't lose your wits at a time like this. And Brooke is also drunk. And then we have somebody woo with Ding Dong Ding Dong. Wow, that was quick. A fire faller has been dispatched. Okay. That's the people sent to deal with the fire. Go Fire Brigade, we're counting on you. And then, huh? What's that? And was this the Draugr? What? It slaps away at them, a big skeletal knight. What? We have everybody freaking out. Gee-ha-ha-ha. Did you see that? The look on that giant's face when the thorns got him? Talk about priceless, we have Summers. What was that expression again? Love is both roses and thorns, right? Beats me. You're such a stick in the mud, Gunko. The more love you have, the deeper passion's thorns take hold. It'll be even better when their folks show up, right? I love this game. If they try to hug their kids, the thorns will rip them to pieces. The rats won't even want to look at them after that. They'll be bawling themselves when they realize their folks died right in front of them. Even murder can be moving. And we have St. Summer's Thorn Fruit, a Briar Man. So, this is interesting. We have his fruit be distinguished from the stuff like Miss Doublefinger was doing by having this extra sort of emotional layer attached. Like, instead of making spikes from his body like she could do, he can also like do things the emotional way of, like, I guess the deeper you care about whoever you're trying to touch, he can just keep people from touching each other once he's used his fruit on them. And he used his fruit on the kids, and the deeper your connection to them, the more damage the thorns do, I guess. But that's interesting too, because like I've brought up previously here on the channel, I brought it up in the really big, cool discussion on Naya Hemming's channel that I brought up before. Something that I've thought since Wano, ever since we're seeing like the way Luffy uses his fruit, we're seeing the way that some of Kaido's crew members like the Tobiropo and King and Queen, the way that they use their fruits, and getting the fruit explanation from Vegapunk. I've been saying that devil fruits work how you think they work. Like, obviously, the flare fruit is going to give you fire powers, but I think what you can or can't do with those fire powers is determined by what you yourself think you can and can't do. What Luffy can do thinking that he has the Gomu Gomu no Mi is what he thinks he can do with it. Like gear second, gear third, all of this stuff that doesn't necessarily make logical sense. Or like Hawkins with the straw fruit. Somebody who didn't know or care about all the voodoo magic stuff might just be able to turn their body into the straw man or whatever, but all the voodoo effects and stuff come specifically, like all the magical effects come from Hawkins's understanding of it. The same way that King and Queen are like, this is just what pterodactyls or brachiosaurs do. Is because that's how they view the fruit as working. That's what they think they do, so that's what it does. And I think that could be the difference, where somebody sort of uncreative, somebody with less dreams, less ambition, like Miss Doublefingers, like, oh, I can make spikes from my body when hearing about like a spike fruit. But when hearing about a thorn fruit, somebody with, you know, a better imagination or more ambition or whatever can think of a cooler usage. And because that's what they think of, that's what happens. That's how it works. That's the way that I personally have come to think that devil fruits work. But I don't know if we could say that there's... Well, I guess we're seeing Kiringam, and Kiringam has the Awakening Scarf. So I think we can say Awakening again. I think somebody else brought it up where they were like, you know, if the first like 5 times we see that scarf, it's Awakening. The 6th time we see the scarf, I'm going to assume it's Awakening. That's where I am with it. We also have God's Knights and a new name, Devil Fruit. Too bad I don't know that we're getting either of these other ones. Again, or Heart Pirates or Cross Guild. Or, well, Yonko Flashback is probably the best bet. Like if we see Luffy and we get a flashback, I think that could work. But I think that's it for now. I don't think we saw Hyridine because we haven't jumped back to that scene. So, it'll be Death by Love. That's something to look forward to, am I right? Come on, you're too stoic. It's pathetic. Gunko, what route are you Gunko, what route are you using? Says Kiringam. The central path. There are other thick branches. And now we see the Owl Library, the Walrus School, the Western Village, and the harbor. We have the way that the path is laid out down the branch. But making them go that way will get them to the ocean clouds I saw by the village. To be in the center is to be vulnerable. That's a harsh reality to face, especially when you're too helpless to move. Summers, this needs salt. Salt. And then... Oh, he makes him think of salt. He puts him to sleep. And then he pulls the salt out of his dreams so he can put people to sleep and pull it out. Okay, we have Asbach Rock Salt, Ever the Connoisseur, Saint Kiringam, Mythical Dragon Fruit, Model Kirin, a dream materializing man. So it's weird and interesting. I guess that's something Kirin can do. I have never heard of that before, though. He can not only put them to sleep, which is a power of itself, but then take things out of their dreams. You can wake up now. And he wakes back up. That's the ability you use to pull those dream demons out of the brat's head, right? The Japanese used MMA pronounced Muma. This could be a reference to Pokemon and or both a Pokemon and a monster in Anpanman. I think it's probably MMA instead of Uma, because Uma is what Japanese, like UMA is what Japanese people call cryptids, like unidentified mysterious animals, kind of like we say UFO for unidentified flying object. They would say unidentified mysterious animal or whatever. So it's probably a reference to Uma, but I don't know what the first M would be of like the maybe mythical mysterious animal. I don't know, but I think it's probably a reference to UMA is why it's MMA. And then of course, I I can use it multiple times simultaneously. This salt is perfect. I agree. That ship docked at the village is meant for giants. But we should be able to make our own rainbows with a painter. It's delicious, and we're having Gunko's reaction to eating. What a peculiar culture. So when we've done that, we just return to the Holy Land and... What? That's it? This game was too easy. I'm stuffed. Hey, is this 0 calories? Well, it was a dream meal, so of course it's calorie-free. Summers, don't let your guard down. Trouble's brewing. I saw a certain pirate ship anchored at the village. Emperor Straw Hat Luffy is on Elbaf. Huh? Hey, aren't the kids heading straight for the fire? It spread faster than I expected, but no matter. If they die, we'll just have to march the next batch over. And then, okay, we're finally cutting over. Loki, you no good. Go ahead and try something, Hyradine. Dogga ha ha. There's nothing you can do to stop me. None of you can even lift Ragnir. We can't let you turn anyone else in the Sun Realm into a victim. Oh, there will be victims. The flames are already spreading. Now choose. Surrender your weapons and let me go, or... Hey, what's the deal with this monstrous giant we have, Sanji, who has been completely out of the loop, wasn't told by Luffy at all beforehand. He's injured. If we don't help, he'll... Will you let everyone die? We'll slaughter every last weakling in the Sun Realm. If you don't answer... Wait, we get it, says Hyradine. Don't fall for it, Hyradine. Roronoa Zoro. Guess there's no choice. I promised if you did anything wrong, I'd drop you, says Luffy. And now, we do have Yonko. We don't have a flashback yet, but flashback could... We have Grand Fleet representative. We're not having Seraphim. We could get Nika mentioned, but we're not getting Seraphim. I doubt we're getting both Marine and Vivi Wapple or Morgans. Wow, we have filled in so much. Yeah, flashback is possible, though. We need a clutch flashback coming in. Wait, Straw Hat? He'll zap you if you get near, and we're going to have a Eneru moment, aren't we? I see. So that's your answer. There's no turning back from a crime like this. Just stop, Loki. Think of the children. Think of the children. Luffy, are you going to let him off easy? His wounds are about to open up again anyway. Gomu Gomu. Damn. Guess I lose this round, he smiles. Arm balloon. What? And he goes down instantly with just a little weak balloon punch of kind of like what Zoro was saying, going easy on him, letting him off easy. He just kind of balloon punches him and he tips over because he was already struggling. He was already at death's door. Just standing was taking all the strength he could muster. It was a nice try. He probably planned on finding somewhere to pass out safely after he escaped. I doubt he'd have made it, given the blood loss. Now it's up to you, whether you want to treat him or let him croak. I have unfinished business with him, but he was covered in blood, says Luffy. It certainly looks like someone tried to kill him, and that's a separate issue from his prior crimes. It's just a hunch, but could it be? Hyradine, I have a request. Please save his life. I don't care what kind of person he is. I can't just watch him die. How long for a full recovery? Several months at least, and we cut to Gerd treating him. If we're serious about treating these wounds, he shouldn't be sleeping in a place like this. They won't be so forgiving at the village. It'd be a one-way ticket to execution. I don't mind staying here. Their hatred really runs deep, but I guess we're talking about unforgivable garbage. I wonder, though, if this is where we're going to get Loki telling the real story of what's happened on Elbaf. Wow, those horns are the real deal. So it wasn't just a part of the helmet. We see the helmet off. The horns were sticking through holes in the helmet. It's the mark of the ancient giants. Our father Harald was the same. You're both my precious sons. We're seeing a flashback. Oh, shit, we're seeing a flashback. It just hit me. I want you to get along when I'm gone, and do what you can to support Elbaf. How can I call such a weak runt my big brother? You're just a bastard. You'll never be Dad's true heir. Hyradine, everyone knows your mom's got dirty blood. And then we have Hyradine lifting his axe. Well, hold it. Calm down, Hybridine. There's no way I can ever forgive him. He insulted my mother and killed our father. Do it already. This weeping warrior thing has gotten old. You're so drunk on all this personal drama, you can't even see the forest for the trees. Don't tell me you're really like the rest, thinking I actually killed our father in cold blood. You don't really buy it, do you? What's Loki saying? Are we finally... I can't wait to finally get this info. Are we finally going to see? We have no notification of a break next week. Very good chapter once again, though. Loki's so cool. And also, I like Summers and Kiddingam. I like the God's Knights. Gunko's great too. The God's Knights are really good. All of this was great, I think. The arc's just been really, really, really great. So we did get a flashback, though. We managed to bingo somehow. I guess, really, this middle row I didn't notice before, but really this middle row was kind of easy. Most chapters have some sort of flashback. Luffy's gonna be in most of them. Blood, Sweat, or Tears is probably the most free space other than the free space, and the title was literally God's Knights. So... Then again, knowing One Piece, we could have gotten trolled where the God's Knights were doing things, but we didn't actually see any of them. I could have totally imagined that as a possibility. Also, I think we did get silhouetted character with their father up top. Let's see. Yeah, I would count that. So I like that we're getting a glimpse of the flashback, and then it'd be cool to see more. It's just a shame that Hybridine has been so, had to fight to extreme difficulty against Mach Weiss, and in comparison, like, people would not take him seriously as Loki's brother, given how crazy powerful Loki's been hyped up to be. And even now, we're seeing him nerfed. It's one of those things where they're like, it'll take months for him to heal. So now, even if, say, he does help Luffy to fight against the God's Knights or something, even if he does, like, play a good role, or a positive role in the arc, he's still going to be injured and nerfed throughout it. But either way, that's it for this week's chapter. Very fun. I really have loved, I think, every part of this arc so far. I guess the weaker parts, most people have said the weaker parts were at the beginning with the Lego world and Roto and everything. I guess that was weaker, sure, but even that was fine. Even that was nice to me because it felt like we were on a new adventure, and the sense of adventure, exploring these new islands, these new cultures, I think is one of the funnest parts of One Piece. Like, when I think of some of the stuff that I've really enjoyed, I love getting into Skypiea and, like, seeing the complexity of the culture between, like, the god, the former god, the Shandians, the Skypieans, like, all of that, the way that Verth works and Jaya and everything. All of that is so complex. And then the same thing with getting into Zou, seeing how Zou had, like, the Kingdom of the Day, the Kingdom of the Night, the Kingsbirds that went between, how they ruled and everything, the Guardians or Warriors or whatever they were called. I think they were called Guardians versus the Musketeers. I think that, like, going into these things, and you could even say the same things about, like, Wano or Whole Cake, we're getting into these different places and seeing the different cultures. I guess you could say that about anywhere, because you could definitely say it about Dressrosa. I think that's some of the funnest stuff in One Piece. So even that, even early Elbaf was very fun because of that, and we're continuing that here. We see so many Elbaf-specific cultural things in just this chapter, like the fire brigade that they have, the setup for the branches and all that. So this is, all very cool stuff. I'm going to go ahead and end the video, though. So thank you for watching. Let me bring this up. Like if you did like the video, comment down there to tell me what you thought of this chapter, my thoughts and reaction. Subscribe for more One Piece, much more on the channel. Follow on Twitter if you want. If you want a link to the Discord server, it's free and open for anyone. If you want to help support the channel, like I said before, a super thanks is appreciated, but like I said before, if you want these videos a bit early, your name at the end of videos, in addition to supporting the channel, hit join down below to become a member, or go to patreon.com/HakuOfTheTubes, or a link will be in the description to become a patron. Thank you so much to people who are already patrons and channel members. Thank you to chosen regulars Evan, Holly, and Bertie Wooster, Magical Girls, FR Nono, JA, and the D-Band, Cheriton Students, David Langstaff and Folded Ghoul, Slayer Candidates, SG and Stan Cedar, and Pure Elements, Pateo Diallo, and Elsa the Storyteller. thank you all so much for your support. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you all next time.